if you could just find it in your heart to maybe, I don't know, give us what's the title going to be, Shawn? I would love to know.
It's TBD.
Well, we know it's
understand.
TBD. We don't want to pry. We understand artistic integrity is a big deal for you, and we appreciate that. Yeah. But I mean, we would love to know if you could find it in your heart to tell us.
Fellas, it's TBD.
But, right. That's what we're saying. But
so do you not want to tell us? I mean, it's fine if you don't.
Listen, Gurgle Throat, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I'm getting a little confused here. I feel, and let me tell you something.
I'm so sorry.
When I get upset, I start referring to myself as the third person. And let me tell you something. Shawn Axel Roads is getting a little irritated right now. Two best friends just blowing out, talking about what's going on. We might talk about politics or what I bought off Amazon. It's bottle up and explode. Yeah! Woo! Fuck yeah! It's bottle up and explode.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bottle Up and Explode with Bryson and Michael. I'm Bryson.
I'm Michael.
Hey, Michael. How are you doing today?
Dude, life's good. Life's a solid. Life's a solid right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Life's pretty good. Got a haircut. Pretty stoked about it. My hair is curly. Rocking the early 20s look for me.
Yeah.
Look like a boy again.
I just told you look really good. You look like you stepped right out of 1993. I mean, you got the nice blue jeans, white T-shirt from some local place. Chuck Taylor's on. You look good, man.
I appreciate that, man. 93 is my birth year.
Oh, is it really?
That is.
Well, goddamn. I'm fucking psychic with it.
Well, okay.
So we've had a good. How am I doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right, man. Just chilling, hanging out. We've been doing a lot lately. We had our show this past Friday.
Sure.
Went really well. Everybody wore their masks.
Everybody wore their masks. It was pretty great. It was a great experience. We took everybody's temperature at the door. Solid time. Great shows. The first show was sold out. And then the second show.
The second one was a little bit less.
The second show was a little less. It felt like I was doing a bad play, and my parents came as a pity.
Yeah, it felt like I was in the kitchen at Thanksgiving, doing a routine for all the family that was over. You ever did that when you were younger?
Yeah, it was let's see, it was 4 audience members. It was one of the students that took the class, Andy, and then it was my mom
and our friends, right?
My mom and my nephew, and then the bar staff.
Yep.
It was fun, though. But we had a good time with that show. We were like, hey, fuck rules. Let's just have fun. Let's give this audience a real funny show.
And then Sunday, we put out episode 4 of the show, which by now has gleaming reviews.
Oh, my God. All the reviews are outstanding.
People are absolutely going wild for the show. And you, me, and Brandon. Also, hey, Brandon.
Hey, welcome back, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon's back. He was not here for the last episode.
Yeah, my bad, guys.
Nah, it's all good.
Son of a bitch.
But then,
I'm sorry, Mike.
You know what? Excuse me, if you don't mind, Bryson.
No, not again, Michael. I just got here, man. Come on.
I told you to start everything. Ow! Schedule. Ow! I put it on the Google Calendar. I thought you didn't want me there. Tickle. All right, I'm going back.
Michael, is Brandon still acting up down in the dungeon?
No.
Why do I have to record from down here?
Social distancing, Brandon.
Goddamn.
Got to keep ourselves safe here.
But episode 4 came out on Sunday. Went pretty well. And then the 3 of us went down to, what was it, Gretzky's?
Gransky's, man.
Good guy, Evan Gransky, has a record shop over on Central called Gransky Records. They have reasonable prices, and they always have something good. They had a very rare Avett Brothers Emotionalism. It's not super rare, but it's very, very hard to find. And if you do find it, it's super expensive. And he had it at regular price. And I was like, wow, you could have just skyrocketed this price. And he's like, no, I'll give it to you retail. I was like, pretty solid, dude.
That's pretty cute. That's
pretty cute.
I mean, that's
so cute.
That's so cute of him, not taking advantage of you monetarily. But so we went down to Gransky's and we each made a purchase. Michael, what record did you buy?
Well, Bryson, thank you for asking. I found a used copy of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Nice.
It is very special to me because it is my first. It was the first album I was ever introduced to, period. It was the first rock and roll album. It was very influential on me. And David Bowie is very influential on me, period. But I'll let you talk about your guy first.
Well, so I got a not used, but a new, still in the plastic wrap copy of "To Pimp a Butterfly" by Kendrick Lamar, his seminal third studio album, released in 2015. Great piece of work. It's not it's not quite as personal to me, I feel like, as it is to you, because you're talking about, or as I feel like Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust is to you, because you were talking about how it was like your first album you were ever introduced to.
Oh yeah,
this was definitely not quite that deep in the history books for me, but it is one of the first albums I listened to once I got a little bit older and I actually started really, listening to a lot of music and finding a lot of music, because for a lot of my life growing up, I'll admit I was kind of that kid that either just like listened to whatever like hit song was going on. I mean, I was in like elementary and middle school, you can't really blame me, or I just thought all new music sucked. So then I got a little bit older, right when his fourth album, Damn, came out, and I'd heard a lot about him for a long time, and I listened to him, and now he's one of my favorite artists, and that album is one of my favorite albums, and it's really fucking good.
dude. I fucking love music. That album, and if I may go on a little David Bowie tangent, he is so special to me, and that album specifically is so special because, to start off, as I said, it was the first album I was introduced to, but it's also an album that it was my dad introduced me to. So like my dad and I are very close, and if you were to define or to find an album that like defined our relationship, well, not necessarily defined our relationship, but like, if there was an album that Michael and Gino would rock out to, it's fucking Bowie every time. We could be in a car ride anywhere, and I could just start that album and he'll just fucking blare it up. It's just such a good album, beginning to end.
I was gonna say, and on top of that, not only is it like clearly deeply personal to you, but it's just a good fucking album anyway. Like, I could listen to it and enjoy it.
And there's also a backstory behind Ziggy Stardust. And I will not make this long, I promise, but I have to nerd out because it's very special to me on multiple levels. So to start off, when David Bowie became a rock star, he had to change his name because his real name is Davy Jones. Mm-hmm. And there was already a famous Davy Jones of the Monkees. So he had to change his name. So already off the bat, it's like, man,
did he like
already have
change it, or is that just
no, stage name?
Okay.
But like already off the bat, it's like, damn, I already got to change who I am. And he was really insecure about who David Bowie was as a performer, as a musician. So he created an alter ego, and he created an album around this alter ego, and his alter ego's name was Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah,
and he was able to kind of create this, like, I feel like Gaga drew a lot of inspiration from Bowie.
Oh, for
very
sure.
out there.
For sure.
He was like, once I'm Ziggy, I'm not like David Bowie. He was able to take himself out of it. I'm fucking Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy's like, he's a fucking sex god. He's got like a huge hag.
Huge Italian hag.
He's got a huge hag. He's got a huge British hag. But, he was like, it was like his alter ego that felt like sexy and confident, and I was like, God, I can relate with that. Like as
I
an
also
adult,
have trouble feeling sexy and confident. I also want to feel sexier and more confident.
How can I feel sexier and more confident? I want to be Ziggy Stardust. Well, Ziggy, like, I don't know. It's like, even when you listen to his other albums, you listen to Ziggy Stardust, and he sings. It just sounds a little different. It sounds a little bit more like, fucking sexy. God damn it. Sounds sexy. I will say it. And I take a poll down below. 100% of votes will be like, God damn, David Bowie's sexy.
David Bowie is a sexy motherfucker. I'm not gonna argue with you on that. But so, I mean, have you listened to Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar, or have you listened to any of his music? I already know the answer. I'm already positive. I know the answer.
Wow, that's
it's a harsh
rude
judgment.
assumption. Really rude assumption.
A really rude, accurate assumption.
I'm gonna say this. I'm sure I have. Just didn't know it.
It's quite possible.
Perhaps when I was walking in an Abercrombie, or
not a chance.
Or maybe if I was, hanging out at a party, perhaps.
So, this album is not a party album at all. He does have plenty of like party, not plenty, but like some like party songs like Swimming Pools or Humble or DNA, right, off of his other albums. All great songs in their own right, but definitely more upbeat, like party anthems. But this album, I don't know how into hip hop you guys are, but I'm going to stake it right now. So not only is Kendrick Lamar the best hip hop, I'm just going to say artist period of the last 10 years, but that might step on some toes of other genres. So I'm just going to stick to hip hop artists of the past 10 years. But this album is probably the best album of the past 10 years. This shit is killer, bro.
Hey guys, I want to see stuff in the comments here about that particular one. Let's
Best album in the past 10 years.
And if it's not
Who
To
is
Pimp a
it?
Butterfly, what is it? That's the only question I have for you.
let's get some responses for next week.
Wow, let's pretend let's kind of put in a segment here where we are live previewing the comments. Oh, here come the comments. Oh, wow. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting. The Wiggles, huh? Okay.
okay.
That's
All
not
right.
what I was expecting. Oh, wow.
Black Star by David Bowie. Not what I would have picked. Not my choice, to be honest.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Just the live cover, Puddle of Mud's cover of Nirvana.
Fuck that shit. And this has been reading the comments. But this album, it's a fusion of hip hop, jazz, and funk music, and it's thematically it's like telling the story of how. So the phrase "To Pimp a Butterfly" basically is a reference to how Kendrick views that the music industry will take like talented artists and trying to
transform them into butterflies.
and it will use them and like suck the soul out of them, trying to make money off of them, right? To pimping a butterfly, taking something beautiful and using it for gain.
Correct. Yes, I understand. I did not mean to make light of that issue.
I did not.
I'm doing what you call making a joke.
I didn't think you were making light of it. You're so goofy. But
I get it, man.
So that's
Hollywood's rough.
So that's a lot of what the album is about, right? His experience feeling like he's being taken advantage of, and it's all set to the backdrop of he like adds the extra layer of what it's like being a black man in America and being a black man in the music industry. And I don't know, the whole thing is just filled with amazing instrumentals, amazing funk and jazz instrumentals with track after track of potent self-reflection as well as reflection on the world. And let me tell you, I listened to it today, and honestly, I could put it on right now and listen to the whole thing straight through. It's killer.
We're gonna go ahead and just cut off the podcast and just play that album. Enjoy To Pimp a Butterfly. Just kidding, we're still here.
We do not have the rights to the entirety of
just got off the phone with Kendrick personally. He was like, dude, don't fucking do that. And I was like, dude, understand.
Understandable. It's your seminal work. We're not going to take credit.
And he said, lose this number immediately. And then my phone actually blew up in my hand. I was like, what the fuck? Hollywood's weird, man.
Jesus Christ. But Michael, so when you were younger and you were listening to that David Bowie album, so tell me what you found interesting about it then and what you now older find interesting about it as well. Like, has it changed or what?
So yeah, it's completely evolved over time. You know, as a kid, I saw, kind of as I mentioned earlier, I saw it kind of as a bonding moment with my dad. So anytime I heard the album, I was just thinking about like car rides with my dad. Think about like when we would go on trips to Ohio or to Paris Island, or when he would just drive me to school. It was just like, that was kind of the theme music to, our hangout or our trips. It still is. Like when we went to Cleveland this summer, we played that album again. It's just like, holy shit. It's like, it wasn't even like we skipped a beat. It was like, just like if I was like 10 or 11 years old, it was just the two of us again. But yeah, it is, as I mentioned before, I learned as an adult, like the struggles that Bowie went through and, being comfortable with himself. And I have a different appreciation for the album because I was just like, man, here comes a guy, picks a different persona and just absolutely shines. And at the end of the day, he's still David Bowie. He's still himself. Mm-hmm. And he just absolutely just fucking rocks. I think that's a beginning to end. I think we had talked about this on a long lost episode.
On one of the hidden episodes?
If we would take an album to the grave, I said I would take Ziggy to the grave in a heartbeat. It's beautiful. First song is called, it's very accurate of what's going on right now. So it's
You want
about.
to talk about accurate what's going on right now?
Oh, hold on.
We'll
Let
get
me. So let's wrap this up because I think we're getting close to an interview. We'll get to that in a minute. But the first song is called 5 Years, and it's like talking about people have found out that the Earth has 5 years left of living, and you see the people like start to act differently, and he's just like it's like a portrait of what he's seeing, of what he's witnessing, like as people are realizing the world's ending, and he's like having a breakdown about it. And then the last song is called Rock and Roll Suicide, and it's kind of about kind of the struggles of. It's very similar to your album.
Yeah.
It's you have such.
The struggles and the tapestries.
You have a clock. You have the clock is waiting on your song, and you only have so much time to write it. And if you're this age, you only have so much ability to choose your path. And it's like, it's heartbreaking. But it's also at the end of it, it's like, give me your hands. I love you. And so it's very pro mental health and just.
Hell
It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful album.
And the way you
very
said
progressive.
way you said that it like speaks even truer today than it did when it came out. I feel like that's something you can also say about To Pimp a Butterfly, because it feels like it was written this year with, talking about race relations in the country. And I don't know, it's just timeless. But that's all the time we have for this segment. So I think right after this word from our sponsors, are we going to have an interview with Mr. Shawn Axel Roads?
You and Brandon are.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You won't talk to
I
him.
fucking hate this guy. Let's review. Let's review.
Let's review the hate.
Tempted to fuck my family. Let's just say family. Leave it broad. Tempted to fuck all of my girlfriends.
He's right in the great room, man.
I don't care. I hope he fucking hears me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. Michael,
I'm sorry. I'm hot about it. I'm hard about it. I'm hard. I have a rage boner right now.
Michael's
so
hard.
bad.
We're all
Would be the first time.
Emotions are high. Right after this break, you're gonna get to hear from Shawn Axel Roads. So stay tuned to Bottle Up and Explode.
Bam! Time to thank our sponsors.
Woo! Sponsor thanking time.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Le Chat Noir. Le Chat Noir is a black box theater here in downtown Augusta, just on the corner of 8th and Ellis, right off Broad Street. This theater has an attached lobby with a full-service bar that echoes a 19th century cabaret. Well, after one too many absents. Like its namesake, Le Chat Noir exists to produce and present entertainment to the CSRA that was previously not being offered.
And Michael, is there possibly a website that I could go to get more information about Le
I
Chat
was
Noir?
literally about to say that, Bryson. It's lcnaugusta.com, lcnaugusta.com. You can find information on tickets. You can also find merch. You can find content on past productions. But most importantly, you can find our tickets to First Friday XTG Schrodinger's Cat. lcnaugusta.com. Go to our website for more details. Woo!
Hello, everybody. We just came back from commercial break, and Brandon, it's that time.
Oh my God, I'm so excited, man.
You're excited, aren't you?
Dude, I mean, you've been listening, right? I mean,
I've been doing my studying. I'm very excited.
Because I know you didn't know this guy before, but I'm like,
Well, I know. I mean, we mentioned him last week, and I delved through his discography. But we'll talk about that in a moment.
God.
Let's get the man in here, ladies and gentlemen. First guest on Bottle Up and Explode, Mr. Shawn Axel Roads, walking into the studio.
Whoa! Hey there, guys. What's up? Hello.
Mr. Rhodes.
Whoa! Yeah, I'm so glad to be here. Welcome. Whoa!
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you.
Welcome myself. Is that all right? I did
Oh
it.
man. Oh
Wow.
God.
Oh man.
Oh, such an honor.
Whoa! I'm so honored to be here. I gotta pull my chair up.
Shawn, please. I mean, well, first, could we call you Shawn Axel? How do you prefer to be named?
Hit your
It's
microphone.
okay.
I apologize.
It's perfectly fine.
Apologize. You can call me Sean. That's fine.
Shawn?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
You know we're pretty tight.
Oh, we
Pretty
are.
tight.
I feel very close to you after having.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're pretty close.
Hey, first of all, my apologies that Michael's not actually here with us today. He had an urgent urology appointment.
It's probably because I gave his girlfriend chlamydia.
You gave Michael's girlfriend chlamydia?
I did. I regret it. I was gonna apologize to him today. Keep that in mind. But he decided not to. He had to go to the doctor. So
Well,
understandable.
you know,
Understandable mix-up.
If you know about a busy schedule, I mean, I'm sure you do.
I mean,
And let me tell you, it burns. Ow! Ow!
Right,
Woo!
right, sure.
I'll make sure to let him know for you, Mr. Sean. I'll let him know that you
Just
gave
Sean,
his girlfriend.
please. Every time you say Mr. Sean, I look for my landlord. And I'm behind on rent. I'm behind. This COVID has not been kind to me.
Like all musicians.
Oh,
Like all
certainly.
musicians, but I play under the table.
Oh, well, if you'll refresh us, what was your last live performance before everything started to happen?
Yeah, I actually played at Joe's Underground, which is
The second layer of Joe's
No. This is in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina,
Oh,
and it's at my buddy. His name's Joe Underground, right?
sure. Yeah.
And he lives in a ditch under a bridge. So he
performed
put
under a bridge?
Yeah. There was just the two of us there, and also a few ducks that showed up. I don't see anything funny about that.
No, my apologies. Yeah.
That's okay.
we just find it hilarious that no one would come and hear your music. I mean, that
ridiculous.
seems like such a missed opportunity.
really
It is very hilarious that nobody comes to hear my music. But you know what? That does not stop me from rocking socks off. Rock socks.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, if we can
Which, if I may, I actually have a new product that I would like to promote. It's
Go right ahead.
By all means.
it's rock socks. They are in fact just rocks. But you can put them on your feet, and they feel warm like a sock on one part of your foot. Rock socks. Hit me up under Joe's Underground Bridge.
Well, awesome. I'll buy a pair from you right after the show. But if we can get right into the meat of
Yeah,
what we were
man.
here to talk about.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make
no,
no. I didn't mean to make it a plug,
Take all the time
know.
you need, Mr. Sean. But
Just Sean. I'm not gonna.
you're right. You're landlord. I forgot.
I'm
You're
not gonna tell
landlord.
you again.
You're landlord. My bad.
That's right.
But I hadn't heard of you. I'll admit. I'll be honest. I hadn't heard of you before last week. But after I heard Brandon and Michael or Brandon talk about you with such high esteem, I was very excited for you to come on the show. And I went and listened to your discography. And let me tell you,
It's a lot to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, it was two strong listens, but your debut album, Red, White, and Blues, I was honestly floored by the soul on that album. Can you talk about the process when you were creating that?
Well, first off, full disclosure, I sold my soul to the devil during this time.
You pulled a Robert Johnson.
I did pull a Robert
that's fair.
Johnson. I went out into the woods of Harlem, Georgia, and I did, in fact, sell my soul to the devil. And then I did write the hit album Red, White, and Blues.
Now,
Okay.
there was some controversy about your choice of dialect while you were singing on the album. Could you care to explain that creative choice?
Sure, I did choose to go with a British Cockney accent. And I know what you're thinking. What do British people know about the blues? Let me tell you. Okay.
It's always
They're
raining.
not American. for
They're
starters,
not
right?
American,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean they don't get sad. It rains all the time there. Would you be sad if it rained all the time?
All the time. I would be sad every day.
Would you say you would have?
The blues?
That's what I was gonna say. Yes, yes. Would you say you had the blues? Yes.
I would. I mean, honestly, that sounds exactly like what I would say.
That's the blues, baby.
I mean, so obviously, a strong debut album, showing out the gate that you're willing to make
large creative choices.
strong artistic statements. And so, we have to talk about your concept album. I mean, we have to talk about it.
Everybody wants to talk about it.
all right, let's-
It's always the highlight of conversation.
I listened to Red, White, and Blues, and I thought to myself, how could it get better? I thought, what would he have to do to floor me? And let me tell you, I immediately, right after listening to Red, White, and Blues, I put on your second album, your amazing concept album, June 4th, 1989. I put it on, and I just started listening to it from front to back, and let me tell you, words, they don't describe. It was
An important day in the history of my life.
Really?
Can you tell us why it was an important day in the history of your life?
It was when I lost my third life. You see, Shawn Axel Roads, his spirit animal is a cat. And you see, he's got 9 lives. But on June 4th, 1989, I fell off a bridge. I was on top of the Joe's underground bridge, and I fell. And I hit the ground so hard, I thought, surely Shawn Axel Roads is never going to play again.
Well,
but a hobo came by me, and he looked me in the eyes, and he said, do you have $1? And I said, no, I don't. But I got a song. And I sang him the first title track on the album.
I got to tell you, it's really incredible to hear that you began work on your seminal album about Tiananmen Square while on the day it happened, whilst under a bridge. And then to already know at that time that you were going to take the perspective of the Chinese is just...
Did you... So you saw in the news that day, I assume. I mean, I assume you were very busy with your accident, but you had to have seen on the news what was happening in China. What
possessed you to take that stance? I mean, such a strong...
To write the entire album from the perspective of the Communist Party of China on that day. I mean, it seems like such a bold choice.
You know, guys, before we started this interview, I strictly said we weren't going to talk about this. This was the one topic I said
one of
was
your
off
two albums.
The table.
I mean,
you did.
It was
so you wanted to talk about the album, but you didn't want us to bring up its inspiration.
I just wanted you to talk about the face value of the album, and I didn't want you to look into the meaning.
Well, how could we not look into the meaning? It was right there. The album was so beautifully written and performed.
I mean, have you heard your own lyrics? I mean, go through one of the songs now. Just think about it.
The best song off the album is clearly "Stand Down." I mean, in fact, I wouldn't mind if you played a little bit of it for us right here, right now.
You want to hear a bit of Stand Down?
I would love to hear a bit of Stand Down.
There's a lot of communism going around. Stand down. Stand down. You know, some people said the song was too short, but I said the song gets right to the point.
I'm honestly in tears here.
I'm in tears. The song, when I heard it on the album, it moved me, but I didn't think your voice would be able to do it here in the studio today.
You know, a lot of people think that I Milli Vanilli that song, but I didn't Milli Vanilli it.
Well, you just...
By Milli Vanilli, you do mean having not actually written it and stolen it, right?
Correct.
Okay. You didn't? You wrote it yourself?
I write all my music. This next album that I have coming out?
Yeah, we are most certainly going to talk
honestly,
about it.
so excited about
I don't mean to jump the gun. I'm sure you guys have plenty of questions about my long rock history.
No, well, yeah. We may as well get into some of the new album, and so we know that like right now you don't necessarily have an actual like title for it. Like right now, I know TBD, we get it, right? But so we're wondering, just because I'm such a fan,
so excited.
If you could just find it in your heart to maybe, I don't know, give us what's the title going to be, Shawn? I would love to know.
It's TBD.
Well, we know it's
understand.
TBD. We don't want to pry. We understand artistic integrity is a big deal for you, and we appreciate that. Yeah. But I mean, we would love to know if you could find it in your heart to tell us.
Fellas, it's TBD.
But, right. That's what we're saying. But
so do you not want to tell us? I mean, it's fine if you don't.
Listen, Gurgle Throat, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I'm getting a little confused here. I feel, and let me tell you something.
Sir, I'm so sorry.
When I get upset, I start referring to myself in the third person. And let me tell you something. Shawn Axel Roads is getting a little irritated right now. Okay,
our deepest apologies. We just we understand.
I told you what it is.
We understand it's to be determined. We understand that.
It could be. It could be.
I'm sorry.
If that's what it means to you.
Okay.
So you're calling it TBD.
Oh, that's deep.
That is correct. Are we on the
Sir.
same page?
Yeah, no,
I mean, now we are. I'm so glad you filled us
right.
in.
Yeah. It's
Is it going to be
TBD.
another concept album?
No, I think this album is more straight to the point. You know.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I mean, so obviously so much to talk about. I mean, and you're not one to shy away from political stances, and so I'm curious in this climate in which we live, what kind of material do you have? Like, what's going on in this album?
I like you guys a lot. Okay, and I don't.
I'm really.
I don't do
I'm
this.
going to be honest. I'm surprised by that.
You guys seem like a bunch of douchebags, but I've worked with worse douchebags. Okay,
thank you.
Worked in Hollywood. I'm very famous. But I'm going to let you guys in on a little preview of the album. How about that?
That would be amazing. We would love
Oh my
that.
God! Almost spit take just now. Yeah, please.
Please play.
I'd appreciate it if you did a spit take. It would make me feel like you appreciate the moment more.
All right. Okay.
It's absolutely disgusting. Clean that up.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. I'm sorry.
Clean that up immediately.
I'll work on that while you say.
We're in a pandemic, you fucking bastard. Ah, rock and roll. Okay, we're good. All right. So, guys, this song here, I wrote it while I was in the desert of New Mexico. I was looking around at my buddies and we were just hanging out, having a good old American time, Sometimes you just gotta find the words to say, hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey from me to you. Red, white, and blue. You know what I love about this great country, the United States of America, is that we're a great big melting pot of different cultures, races, ethnicities. And I love that we're all treated equally, and there's totally no system of oppression or inequality in our country. And we all can just say, hey, 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 hey. You say hi, but I say hey. Hey, it's what I like to do. Red, white, and blue. I saw this meme on Facebook recently. And it was a bag of M&Ms, right? And some of the bags had tipped over into the rain. And the colors, the multicolored M&Ms, just became chocolates. Just regular chocolate. Which is real deep. Because if you think about it, it says, don't leave chocolate in the rain. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, at the end of the day, me, just like you. Red, white, and blue.
Oh, sir, that was
Oh my God!
bravo.
I am fully erect right now.
Sorry, I just need a moment. God damn it, I love
We all need a
America.
moment. Let's take a moment of silence for that beautiful song.
I love America so much.
I can only imagine what it's been like to see it in such disarray recently, with so much disease and so much economic disparity. And,
Oh, it's been terrible being a white middle-aged man and straight middle-aged man in this country. It's terrible for me right now. Oh, definitely not worse for anybody else.
Not at all.
But I love this city. I love this community of Augusta, Georgia.
Yes, you have very famously supported downtown Augusta's thriving underground music scene.
That's right. And let me tell you, when I just finished up my concert at Joe's Underground, actual Joe's Underground here in Augusta, this was right before Rona hit our beautiful city on the what I call the St. Patty's Day Massacre. I came out of Joe's Underground, I came above ground, and it was empty. And me, Brandon, me, Bryson, me, Shawn Axel Roads, I was heartbroken. And right there in the middle of the street, as I cried in the crisscross applesauce position in the middle of Broad Street, I wrote this song.
Are you going to let us hear it?
For you guys, fuck no. But for my fans, hell yeah.
Well, works for
I'm
me.
sure we have many of your fans listening, so go for it, Mr. Shawn.
It's quiet in the Garden City tonight. Nobody's out, not a soul inside. It's like a ghost town, ooh, what afraid. That's alright. It's quiet in the Garden City, see. Nobody's occupying businesses such as these. Nobody here, nobody there. No one at pizza joint, no one at Mellow, no one at farmhouse, no one at craft, no one at Hollow, no one at Knuckles, no one at New Moon, no one at Sunshine, no one at that pottery place, no one at Weird Stewart, no one at Firehouse, no one at Dr. Unks, no one at Aficionados. They are now aficionado closed. It's empty, the Garden City for now. But pretty soon, Augustonians will be rocking this town. It's quiet in the Garden City, see. But pretty soon, we'll be rocking out of businesses such as these. Nobody's... I'll do that part again. Take it back. I didn't like it. I messed up.
Shawn.
No.
You don't have to say the businesses again. I mean, we heard them the first time.
No, it's different.
Okay.
It's different this time.
Okay.
If you insist, please
All
go
right,
back,
all right.
please.
It's different this time.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna list the businesses again.
Okay, please, just go back and do it.
It's a little different. It's empty, the Garden City for now. But pretty soon, Estonians will write this down. It's quiet in the Garden City, you see. But pretty soon, we'll be occupying businesses such as these. Party here, party there, party at Pizza Joint, party at Mellow, party at Farmhouse, party at Craft, party at Hollow, party at Knuckles, party at New Moon, party at Sunshine, party at that pottery place, party at that tire place, party at Aficionados. Woo!
That was beautifully exhausting, Shawn. Thank you for sharing.
Shawn, or Father Rhodes, as I will now refer to you. I just want to thank you personally from the bottom of my heart for coming on the show today, playing us some new songs off your upcoming album, TBD, with us. And
actually, I should probably tell you guys, those are the only 2 songs of the album. I actually just played you guys the entire album.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you then.
What a treat.
What a treat.
Debut.
Well, actually, now it's 4 songs. Okay, so we have the 2 studio recordings of that song.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And now we have the 2 live streams, live recordings of the
So
song.
you're
now,
going to put these recordings on the album as well?
correct. Even this
Wow.
part we're saying right now. So if you want to be on a Shawn Axel Roads album, here's your chance
Mom.
to say hello to your parents.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the album. Listen to Bottled Up and Explode. New episodes every Sunday.
Yeah, go ahead and plug your show. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Rock Socks.
And Rock Socks. You guys gonna plug my Rock Socks?
Of course we're going to plug your Rock
Like
Socks.
nonstop.
I've
dude.
got I got a clip that we could play. So we'll just go ahead and plug that in later.
Okay, well, we'll
Won't
play
we?
it for you. Don't worry.
All right.
And then I know Michael would send his regards, so thank you. I'm sure.
Tell him, if you see him, tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I'm so sorry. And that next time I come on the show, because contractually obligated, I will say hello to him next time.
That would be great.
I'm sure he reciprocates that.
Okay. Well, my cocaine's starting to wear off, so I'm getting a little angry, so I'm going to go ahead and pop smoke.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we'll be back.
you.
We'll talk to you next time.
Where do I go? Where do I
Just right out the door you came
through
in.
there.
Same door I came through?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got to take my headphones off there.
Watch the cord there.
Alrighty.
All right, careful.
Yeah, I'll get my sister to get the guitar.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Should we? Look.
I think he's got
Do I
it.
get my check at the door?
Oh no!
We'll mail it to you.
All right, just mail it to Joe's
Yeah,
Underground.
let's go to your PO box on file. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a real treat. And we'll be right back with Bryson and Michael on Bottle Up and Explode right after this break.
Today's episode of Bottle Up and Explode is brought to you by the Alley Downtown Tap Room. The Alley Downtown Tap Room is the #1 place for craft beer. They have 48 taps with a variety of beer, ciders, wine, kombuchas, sodas, and coffee. Pay by the ounce or pay by the pint. Now, like a lot of businesses, the Alley Downtown Tap Room is going through a real tricky time right now. So their hours are limited right now. So check their website out for that. You can also check their website for to purchase a gift card, beer, or merch. You can find that information on the alleydowntowntaproom.com. Again, that's the alleydowntowntaproom.com.
Now, Michael, is there some sort of VIP text list I could get involved with to get more information?
Absolutely, Bryson. You can sign up for the VIP text list by texting BHOPPY, BEHOPPY, BHOPPY to 31996. Again, that's text BHOPPY to 31996.
Man, that was a real treat, wasn't it, Brendan?
Oh my God, Michael.
Michael,
I know you don't
it
like
sucks
this
you
guy,
weren't here,
but
man.
But you missed like a seriously awesome live performance.
Sorry, I was on the phone with my urologist.
What did your urologist have to
I
say?
totally made that shit up. Really?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Well,
Okay, well. It's all right. It's okay. You don't have to. But, we greatly enjoyed talking to Shawn Axel Roads. He seemed like a good dude. Seemed like a fun guy.
creative musician.
Very creative man. He does seem like he would be a bit eccentric, a bit hard to work with.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Sounds like you guys had a grand time. You know what, Bryson? Why don't you just rename the show Bottle Up and Explode all over my fucking yearbook with Bryson and
Shawn. I mean, honestly, I think that could be a good spin-off podcast if we want to start launching spin-off shows.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You with it?
Just like Frasier was a good spinoff of Seinfeld.
It was.
What?
Wait, that was wrong, right?
That was completely wrong. Yeah.
Wait, Frasier was a spin-off of
Cheers.
Cheers.
I don't
All right. Well,
see. That's how unknowledgeable I am in that because it kind of flew under the radar until I saw y'all chuckling.
and fuck you, Michael. Frasier was a good spinoff.
Frasier was a good spinoff. I was just making a bad joke.
Okay. Well,
You do
you
that.
did
the
that. You did
expensive
that.
Frasier.
You did that successfully.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Michael,
Anyway.
have you ever had anybody that was hard to work with in your experiences in the theater and acting world?
I've worked with a ton of difficult people.
I've worked with some too, but there's one motherfucker that comes to mind.
I've had my share of breakdowns. This was a rightfully so moment. I take my craft seriously, okay? And I say craft like a total douchebag. I do say that. I take my craft seriously. Even in high school, even though I sucked, I was giving like this really emotional monologue, and like I was really in it. And then
Back
there
when
was
you were uncastable, right?
right back when I was quote uncastable. Oh man. And I was on stage. I was giving this monologue, and it was finally going well. And you guys act.
You know how it be.
You know how it be. When you're really developing a character, and you finally like, oh fuck yes, I got it. And it was that moment, and I turned to my right, and this girl, who I already don't like, no offense, but she starts looking at me and starts doing like crazy ass dances. She's like, "Hey, look at me!"
Was this during a show or a rehearsal?
This was during a dress.
Oh fuck!
And I walked off. Oh man, I walked off stage and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
Were you really that upset?
Oh, I was pissed. I was mad. I was like, "You fucking kidding me?"
What show was this? Or do you not?
It's called The Diviners.
Okay.
It was called The Diviners, and it's kind of an overdone high school show, but the end is very sad.
Wait, were you in high school when this happened?
Yes.
And you were being a diva in high school?
I said that.
I get that.
I mean, I get the anger, but like, come on.
I take it seriously, I took it very seriously then. I've been acting since I was 8, and professionally since I was 9. Not to kind of toot my own horn here, but I've taken it seriously. That's what I'm saying. I'm not somebody that's like, school play. I'm an actor.
No, I mean, there's a fine. I get taking it seriously, but to me, okay, so she was in the wings, like dancing and being goofy at you, right?
Trying to get my attention and
While you were on
fuck with me while I was acting.
See, I don't know. Maybe I just like kind of because I did like high school theater. That to me, that was just like kind of fucked with people sometimes like that, and it's funny.
I'm very competitive, and I wanted to win. We were in a really tough division. We were in the same division as Harlem and Davidson, and we kept finishing. Third. The third was the best we finished, and I was sick of it. I was fucking sick of it. I wanted to fucking win, and I was like, and I was just very irritated. And we were kind of overall struggling. I was having a good moment, I was having my fair share of struggles, but I was just irritated to be like, I want to fucking win this, and you're just like, ah.
Well, I mean, not everybody values the things you value the same way you value them.
Well, I understand that now, but
So you're telling me in your own way you were also immature.
No, he was right. Yeah, if I were adult me, I would walk up and be like, "Hey, man, I get you. I understand. Hey, take a breather. Take a lap."
God damn.
I'd tell him to chill out, but I'd be like, "I get it. You're I'm a feisty competitor. I wanted to win. When people tell me I can't do something, I fucking, oh really? Oh, watch me. Not so much anymore. I'm old and tired.
Oh no, I'm trust me, don't get me wrong. I'm competitive too. I like to win. I like to be good at things. But I don't know. To me, that just seems like such a light thing to get that upset about. Like, all right, I'll give you one. Tell me how this would have made you feel. If that's how you felt about that, tell me what. Let me tell you what me and the boys used to do to each other back in the high school theater days. So we were doing a production of How to Succeed in Business at a local unnamed theater. Not sure if they want to be associated with our show, but we were doing a production of How to Succeed in Business, and one of the final songs is Brotherhood of Man. It's like the big final dance number, right? And it's blah, blah, blah.
Hey, we don't have rights.
Yeah, good show, blah, blah, blah. Watch the number. But we're getting ready to do that, and we had been, I don't even want to, it wasn't even like a game. It wasn't like a thing we regularly did. But earlier in the night, in the dressing room, like when we were getting ready before the show, he had hit me in the nuts, right? Just joking around. I wasn't upset. We're in fucking high school. We hit each other in the nuts. That's how it goes, right? So I, being a one-up bastard, so we're getting ready to do Brotherhood of Man, and the scrim is coming up. And I know, because obviously we've rehearsed this 100 times. This is like second weekend, we've done this a bunch by now. I know that we have a solid 15 minutes of standing there, 10 to 15 of standing there, of, listen to the main actors talk before we start dancing, right? So the scrim gets at about knee level. I just whack him right in the nuts, right?
Terrible. I would never be.
You would be so fucking pissed off.
And I took it very seriously in high school. I was given a lot of responsibility, to like direct and to do fight choreography. I did fight choreography for Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I also played Peter. And it was the most horrifying experience I've ever had in theater. And which brings us to today's segment of Michael Gets Bullied. Painful stories from Michael's past. Get stuffed in a lager or thrown in the trash. Stories getting pants. Oh, his wedgies bullied. It's Michael Gets Bullied. Yeah. So I was in high school, and as I said, I was the fight choreographer for Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I only had very little fight experience, but more than anybody else, so it was enough. So I was tasked with doing everybody's fight choreography. At the end of the show, there's a huge fight, and everybody had given me a hard time as it was, like, trying to put this shit together. And then finally, it's the show night. We only have to do this fucking show once, which I'm glad, because it was rough. It was rough. Shout out to the cast and crew of Flying Witch of the Wardrobe 2011. Woo-wee! We've come a long way. So it's finally like the big fight, and the audience is kind of like with us. They're like, okay, all right, like, my son's in this. I guess we'll just pretend we like it. And it's the big fight scene, and it's between... Oh, no. This is the scene between me and the wolf. So Peter kills the wolf. Spoiler alert. We'll put a time insert of 3 seconds.
For Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Got me fucked up. Got to do another spoiler warning.
God damn it. So this is the part, and, you know, I get knocked down, and the wolf is about to jump and kill me. And in the process, I thrust my sword into the wolf's stomach. And so the scene happens. I do it, and everyone goes, "Oh!" And as soon as it happens, the sword bends in half, and the entire fucking audience laughs, and they laugh at me, and they're like, "Oh my god, look at that sword!"
You even got bullied in your drama circle.
And I was like, no. And I was like, I worked so hard on this. And they're just like, oh my. And this is high school. So they're like, it's like after school. So it's like, I'm not going to get written up for this. That sword bit in half. Oh my God. And I'm like, no. And I woke up. Just kidding. It was real life. I was still there.
God damn.
And that brings us to the end of today's segment of Michael Gets Bullied.
Well, Michael, I greatly enjoyed hearing another tale of your woeful experiences being bullied when you were a child. You've really
thanks.
fucking been through it, haven't
Never
you?
stop being
I've
funny.
been through it. You know, we're only in the prologue of the book of
the Michael Gets Bullied saga.
Bullied saga. It's great. It's like Marvel Universe and Star Wars Universe combined.
So it's fucking garbage? Is that what you're
It's a
telling me?
lifetime worth of material.
Fucking ass.
Fuck you. It is, though. But not the films, but these stories.
Wonderful. I can't wait to hear more of them. So you've been listening to Bottle Up and Explode with Bryson and Michael. I've been Bryson.
Michael.
Thank you.
Two best friends just brought it out, and now it's time to go. But tune in next week, you sexy motherfuckers, for another episode of Bottle Up and Explode.
Tune in every Sunday on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Thank you.
Bottle up and explode.